Here's how to tell if you're building a quality activity list or if you're just padding your resume. If you're accepting officer positions from your friend's club that they swear is going to make it big and this is going to be their passion project, then yeah, you might be padding your resume. Just because you're the secretary, vice president, treasurer all at once at the same time doesn't necessarily mean that this is a high quality activity. Usually admissions officers can see right through this stuff. It's even worse if you have a ton of these on your application. You're like the president of 3 clubs, the treasurer of 2, and for one of them, well, you're the founder of it. In this case, it's very obvious to tell that you're not necessarily pouring in your time and commitment into any of these activities. You're just trying to line up your activity list with different officer positions. If you want a quality activity list, instead focus on 1 or maybe 2 clubs that you can have an officer position for. Show that you've committed time into it. At a minimum, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, you're pouring time and energy into making this club work. As the saying goes, you want quality, not quantity. Here's another way to tell you're just padding your resume. You don't have a spike, instead you just kind of go in every direction. You know this is you if you can't tell if your resume is more focused towards the sport you do, the instrument you play, maybe you do some math competitions and you won a writing award. You've done so many things, but you're not able to coalesce this vision into one cohesive narrative. A lot of people think that the narrative begins with the personal statement and the supplemental essay, but that cannot be further from the truth, where your activity list is the narrative. It kind of sets the stage for who you are as a person. How have you spent your time? As a matter of fact, many admissions officers will read your activity list first before even moving on to your essays to kind of set the scene, understand who you are as a student. So how do you avoid this? Well, if you listen to me or any college admissions counselor out there, they probably recommend the spike strategy where you have 1 or maybe 2 different activities that are strong pillars of your entire activity list. If your interest is in math and that's what you want to major in, then try to have at least 2 or maybe 3 activities that point towards that direction. Make that your spike. And say, for example, you want to throw in a second spike. Perhaps you're into music, maybe not as much as math, but you want to show that I did chamber, I did ensemble, I do a lot of things with music, and it's a really big passion of mine. Then let those 2 things, math and music, be your 2 spikes. What this does is help an admissions officer gravitate towards those 2 things that you want them to know about you. These are the 2 pillars, the 2 spikes that you want to be known by. You have to remember that the average admissions officer only reads your activity list for a matter of 5 minutes, maybe even less, as they skim through it kind of like a job recruiter with a resume. They need to catch onto that 1 or 2 things about you that they need to remember by the time they start reading your essays. And lastly, you know you're padding your resume if you do the obvious and expected activities and you don't go out of your way to do something a little more unique and distinct. A good way to tell is to ask yourself how many other applicants are probably doing the exact same activities that I'm doing. If you don't have that 1 or 2 things that sets you apart from the crowd, then you will honestly become one of the crowd. Just remember that you have to start focusing on your activity list early and making sure it's curated, because this can make or break your entire application.